On the news, military declares Halu Buu wanted for terrorism and illegal arms supplies. NLC-TUC rejects federal government's proposed 48,000 naira new minimum wage. And Reps accuses CBN Governor AGF of misleading public on cybersecurity levy. It's a pleasure to have you join us on News Now on TV 360. I'm Tamilore Akinkwolye. The Nigerian military has declared a notorious terrorist Halu Buu wanted for various criminal activities. Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, says Buu, who hails from Niger State, is wanted for his involvement in terrorist acts, illegal arms trading, illicit mining, and cattle rustling. Is known to reside within Zamfara State's forest and frequently flees to Niger Republic after perpetrating crimes in Nigeria. General Buba disclosed this at a media briefing in Abuja on Thursday. The military spokesperson also says collaborative efforts are underway between the Nigerian military and authorities in Niger Republic to apprehend Buu, who reportedly commands a sizable group of accomplices.
We are on the hunt of one Halu Buu. This Halu Buu is a leader, is a terrorist leader that hails from Buu in the Republic of Niger. He settled in Sububu Forest, which is somewhere around Zamfara, as well as lives in Shinkafi local government area of Zamfara State. He has a camp for illegal gold mining located at Kawai in Anka local government area of Zamfara State, and he also has a lot of boys working for him. Additionally, he is a prominent cattle rustler. Last week, his boys killed 19 villagers at Farah Kasa, and for us, he is a high-value target. Therefore, we declare him wanted. Furthermore, he is a major arms dealer, supplier, trusted by arms dealers, supplying arms from Libya. We have been on his trail, and whenever we close in on him, he bolts across the border into the Republic of Niger for refuge. At this time, we are through appropriate channels calling on the Nigerian authorities, regional authorities, and international bodies to support us in effecting his arrest and holding him accountable for his atrocities.
Now joining me to discuss this further is the former Director of Department of State Services, Dennis Makri. Thank you for joining me, Mr. Makri. Now, what is your take on the proposed collaboration between the Nigeria's military and Niger to apprehend Halu, who has been declared wanted for terrorism? And do you think this would hasten the process of fishing him out?
Thank you very much for this. This is why we have always said that there should be a very good relationship between Nigeria and their neighbors. Because right now, this guy is a Nigerian. He's been living in Zamfara State. And of course, when he's being wanted now, the next thing he will do is to run into Niger Republic. And then, of course, if we don't have a very good relationship with them, they will be covering him up. So it's a very good development, and then we hope that they will fish him out and bring him back to Nigeria to face the law.
All right, Mr. Macri, now, how would you rate the fight against terrorism by the African government?
Say that again, please.
I said, how would you rate African government fight against terrorism?
Oh, well, yeah, the fight against terror has been going on for very long. It has been going on for very long. But I think recently we have had a new gusto where I think the military is ready to deal with it. Uh, there might have been some kind of little mistakes here and there, where even collateral damages have occurred among the civilian population. But the important thing is that they are fighting terrorism, and I like the tempo with which it is going for now.
Thank you for lending in your thoughts on the country's security, Mr. Dennis Macri, former Director of Department of State Services. Now, the Catholic Archbishop of Sokoto Diocese, Matthew Kuka, has called on the federal government to enhance communication with Nigerians amidst ongoing hardship. Following a meeting with President Bola Tinubu, Kuka said there is the need for better dialogue to address unintended consequences of certain policy decisions. While also assessing the government's performance, Kuka said there is need for continued efforts to ensure the welfare and security of citizens, urging a commitment to building a better society over time.
Well, I'm sure many people will tell you that 1 year is not enough to make a judgment. However, from where we all stand, we know that we are all in a very difficult situation. Nigerians are in various levels of pain, and there are pains that are unintended. But that there is also certain policy decisions that hopefully with time can be amended in order to serve the welfare of ordinary people. I believe that the essence of government is to guarantee the welfare and security of ordinary citizens. I believe that the times that we're in now are very, very difficult times, and nobody should be under any illusion. But there are also times for renewal. You know, we just need to commit ourselves to the fact that building a good society takes a lot of time. It's not something that is done in one lifetime. And for me, the most important thing is for us to continue on the building blocks of the things that we think are being done well. My argument has always been that the government needs to very quickly improve the quality of communication so that Nigerians can at least get a sense of how long is it going to be before food is ready.
As the food security and nutrition crisis worsen in Borno, Adamawa and Yobe states, the United Nations, in collaboration with the federal government and other national and international partners, have launched the 2024 Lean Season Food Security and Nutritional Crisis Multi-Sector Plan for the 3 states. The launch seeks to ramp up about $306 million United States dollars to fast-track food assistance, nutrition supplies and services, clean water, health care, and protection support for people in severe need during the period. Our correspondent Mikel files the report from Abuja.
The escalating food insecurity and the urgency of addressing the acutely malnourished and at risk of death situation has drawn government officials, diplomatic humanitarian communities, development partners and donors to this critical and large-scale meeting. According to statistics by government-led Cadre Harmony's analysis released in March this year, children, pregnant and lactating women, older persons and people living with disabilities are among some 4.8 million people estimated to be facing severe food insecurity in Borno, Adamawa and Yobe states, the highest levels in 7 years. The United Nations says the Lean Season Food Security and Nutrition Crisis Multi-Sector Plan is targeting 2.8 million of these people for urgent interventions.
The plan we are launching today is seeking 306 million to mitigate the worst impact of the lean season. It's targeting 2.8 million of the 4.8 million people food insecure and in the most severe need over the next 6 months. Particularly, we are targeting the children, the pregnant women, and the lactating mothers and other vulnerable groups.
$303 million is urgently needed to deliver life-saving food security, nutrition, health and protection assistance to 2.8 million people of the most affected people over the next 6 months.
This food and nutrition crisis has been compounded by soaring food prices, primarily due to continued conflict and insecurity in the Bay State, alongside climate change impacts. However, the place of funding interventions and collaborative efforts are highlighted.
The mobilization of funding and resources by the UN OCHA to address this lean season food security and nutrition crisis envisaged in the northeastern part of the country is a step in the right direction in complementing federal government's efforts to prevent death of people as a result of malnutrition-related complications, adoption of negative coping mechanisms, and other health-related issues, amongst others.
The Lean Season Plan recognizes that in order to save lives, we need interventions that spans and goes across our sectors. Feeding a child is of little use if that child is exposed to disease that will weaken its chances of survival. It's likely that these diseases can be prevented through improved hygiene, clean water, as well as access to health care.
This is the fourth meeting between the UN and humanitarian partners on operational plans for the Bay State, pointing to the need to address the root causes of hunger and malnutrition. However, major funding necessary to pull food-insecure households from the scourge of hunger to a level of sufficiency remains critical.
The House of Representatives has expressed dissatisfaction with the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, and the Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, accusing them of misguiding the public on the implementation of the cybersecurity levy. Moving a mission on the issue, Honorable Kingsley Chinda said the mandated Cybercrime Act should not burden ordinary citizens, but rather apply solely to specified institutions. The House has, however, asked the Committee on National Security and Intelligence, Digital and Electronic Banking and Justice to conduct further investigations and report back to the House.
This is the content of the law we made. In course of execution, do not tax Nigerians directly or indirectly.
For us to stand in this chamber and think or we believe that this levy is not going to fall on our citizens, we are deceiving ourselves. Come back to the issue of subsidy. We all assume that when you remove subsidy, it will end somewhere. As a tail end, who is suffering it? It's the masses that we're representing here.
We are also in support that the citizens of the country should not be taxed in the course of doing that.
The Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, and Trade Union Congress, TUC, have expressed disappointment over the federal government's proposal of a 48,000 naira minimum wage, deeming it inadequate to meet the needs of Nigerian workers. Speaking at a media conference following the national minimum wage negotiation in Abuja, NLC President Joe Ajaero and TUC Vice President Tommy Etim criticized the government's offer for lacking substantiated data and transparency. They said the proposed amount undermines the credibility of the negotiation process and erodes trust between the parties involved.
Of a paltry 48,000 naira as the minimum wage does not only insult the sensibilities of Nigerian workers, but also falls significantly short of meeting our needs and aspirations. In contrast, organized private sector proposed an initial offer of 54,000. Though it is worth noting that even the least paid workers in the private sectors receive 78,000 naira. As clearly stated by the organized private sector, highlighting the stark disparity between the proposed minimum wage and prevailing standards, further demonstrating the unwillingness of the employers and government to faithfully negotiate a fair national minimum wage.
A lot of Nigerian workers and the masses in general are affected by the deliberate policies inflictment of the hardship on Nigerian workers. Together in this reasonable dialogue, we can work to give Nigerian workers a 615,000 minimum wage as proposed by NLC and TUC on the basis of evidence and data. This will be in keeping with the pledge of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
We'll take a break here, but still to come, Arsenal manager Mikel awarded major Spanish honor. Details of the story after this break.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
When you go into public office, you must be ready to answer to the people.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places, the Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On Digi 360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians are saying in this part of the world. A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
Digi 360, dissecting the issues.
Welcome back. Now a recap of our top stories. The Nigerian military has declared Halu Buu wanted for criminal activities. Buu is wanted for his alleged involvement in terrorism, illegal arms trading, illicit mining and castle wrestling. Military spokesperson Major General Edward Buba says collaborative efforts between Nigerian military and Niger authorities have been initiated for Buu's arrest. We also told you that the House of Representatives has expressed discontent with CBN and AGF for allegedly misguiding the public regarding the cybersecurity levy implementation. Honorable Kingsley Chinda said the Cybercrime Act should not burden ordinary citizens but focus on specified institutions. The House has tasked relevant committees to investigate the matter further and provide a report. Now, in case you missed any of the news bulletin or for more updates, you can catch us on Limus World TV and AVO TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery and Apple Store. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. Let's now join Joy Uchejin for updates in business world. Joy, what's the latest?
Thank you, Tamilore. Welcome to Business News. Now, following his directive on mandatory procurement of compressed natural gas powered vehicles by all government ministries, departments and agencies, President Bola Tinubu has commissioned critical gas infrastructure projects in Imo, Rivers and Delta states on Wednesday. The expanded AHL gas processing plant, the Anor gas processing plant and the 23.3-kilometer Anor to Obiafu, Obricom, Oben custody transfer metering station gas pipeline, according to the NNPCL, will add additional 500 million standard cubic feet per day gas production capacity to the country and also increase available gas pipelines network by 23.3 kilometers. TV360's correspondent Okbayomi Owosheni completes the story.
The commissioning of the project is in line with the President's commitment to significantly leverage gas to grow the Nigerian economy. Speaking virtually during the event, President Tinubu said the 3 critical gas projects support the federal government's effort to grow value from the nation's gas assets while eliminating gas flaring. He reassured investors in the energy sector of his administration's resolve to further enhance the business environment and ensure investment convenience.
It is pleasing that approximately 500 million standard cubic feet of gas in aggregate will be supplied to the domestic market from these 2 gas processing plants, representing over 25% incremental growth in our domestic gas supply. In practical terms, this is more gas to power the sector, more gas to industry, and more gas to critical segments of our economy.
Also speaking at the event, the chairman NNPCL board said the commissioning marks a significant milestone in the journey towards sustainable energy.
They represent a renewal of hope in our collective efforts to business the potentials of natural gas and to build a brighter future for generations to come. As we celebrate this momentous occasion, let us reaffirm our commitment to responsible stewardship of our God-given resources, of which gas is one.
The Minister of Finance described the initiative as a project that will drive economic growth and utilization of the country's natural resources.
Private sector companies, together with NNPC Limited, have made this investment in record time at 50% of the scheduled time. They have managed to deliver this investment. Is creation of jobs, is provision of power, is provision of fuel for the CNG initiative, amongst others.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, who described the project as beneficial, said the project is in fulfillment of the promises of President Tinubu about transiting to renewable energy.
We all know that the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is desirous of taking Nigeria to greater prosperity. This is one great step in that direction. Having critical gas infrastructure commissioned today is a giant leap. Nothing like this in this country in record time.
The President has assured Nigerians that these projects are just the beginning, as the federal government is stepping up its coordination of other landmark projects and initiatives that will ensure the earliest realization of gas-fueled prosperity in the country. Okpayemi Owosheni, TV360 News, Lagos.
Still on business, Emirates Airlines has announced it will resume daily flights between Lagos and Dubai starting October 1st, 2024. In a statement released on Thursday, Emirates Deputy President and Chief Commercial Officer Adnan Kazim expressed enthusiasm about the resumption. Emirates Airlines had previously suspended its Dubai-Lagos flight in 2022 due to issues related to the repatriation of trapped funds in Nigeria amidst a diplomatic row between the two countries. Nigeria and the UAE have faced long-standing issues surrounding the bilateral air services agreement, leading to flight restrictions. Nigeria's Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, recently confirmed that Emirates Airlines has set a definitive date for resuming flight operations to Nigerian airports. Stock market reports. Do stay with us. Welcome back. It's the fourth weekday of trading and the Nigerian equities market is finally in the green, recording its first positive close of the week, with the all-share index increasing by 0.84% to 97,000 naira. Now, the Royal Exchange led the gainers to close at 55 kobo per share, followed by Guinea Insurance, both equities increasing by 10%. Now, today's market summary on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, which is the NGX, shows a total of 290 25 million volumes of shares exchanged in 7,294 deals, equating to a market value of over 7 billion naira. Now, compared with the previous NGX trading day, which was Wednesday, May 15th, there's a lot of improvement in today's data as more investors bought shares of Airtel Africa PLC, which rose most at the close of trading, with stock investors booking about 497 billion naira gain. For our global equities, the Dow Jones Industrial Average crossed the 40,000 level on Thursday for the first time, and the World Stock Index crossed to a third straight record intraday high, ending in the bulls at 0.16%. The Japan's Nikkei also ended in the green, but the reverse is the case for the UK's FTSE as they ended at 0.085% in the bears. Now let's take a quick look at our foreign exchange market. The US dollar traded at 1,492.58 naira on the official market and at 1,540 naira on the black market. The Great British pound traded at 1,884.53 naira on the official market and at 1,900 naira on the black market. Now the euros traded at 1,618.85 naira on the official market and at 1,620 on the black market. That's it on both business and stock market reports. Back to you, Tammy, for the rest of the news.
Thank you for that update, Joy. Now, on the global scene, Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico is in a very serious but stable condition following an assassination attempt, a hospital official reported on Thursday. Fico was shot 5 times while greeting supporters after a government meeting in Andlova. This attack marks the first major assassination attempt on an European political leader in over 2 decades. Meanwhile, police have charged the suspect, a 71-year-old former security guard and a member of the Slovak Society of Writers, with attempted murder and could face life imprisonment if convicted. And still on the foreign scene, the European Union has initiated a formal investigation into Facebook and Instagram, platforms owned by Meta, over concerns that they may be causing addictive behaviors in children. This probe, announced on Thursday, is part of EU's effort under the Digital Services Act to ensure that the world's largest tech companies are protecting European users and clamping down on illegal content online. This investigation follows a previous one launched last month over fears that Facebook and Instagram were not adequately countering disinformation. And on sport, Arsenal manager Mikel has been honored with the Royal Award of Isabella the Catholic, a prestigious award bestowed by the King of Spain and the Grand Chancellor, the Minister of Foreign Affairs. The ceremony took place at Spanish Embassy in London on Wednesday, with Arteta's family, friends and key personnel from Arsenal in attendance. Arteta's recognition comes just as Arsenal prepares for the final day of the season with a home game against Everton. The Gunners are currently 2 points behind Manchester City, who will host West Ham United in a decisive match. And still on sport, Golden State Warriors star Stephen Curry has been honored with the 2023/2024 Magic Johnson Award, as announced by the Professional Basketball Writers Association. This award recognizes an NBA player who excels on the court while demonstrating exceptional cooperation and grace in dealing with the media and fans. This marks the second time Curry has received this honor, having previously won it in 2016. It joins Damian Lillard and Shane Butler as the only player to win the award twice. And that wraps up our bulletin on News Now. Many thanks for watching. I'm Tamilore Akinkwole. See you next time.